There you go.
Cool, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, the USD directs you to approve for 150. Now, and one thing with that was also with closing costs, so I don't know. Yeah, I wanted to get some information just to see what we could come up with. And just see what we can work out with her. 8,200 down payment and then 1,450 monthly. And any additional closing costs or yeah, okay. Maybe we need to set up a meeting and I can get them on, get everybody together and we can talk about this. I just also wanted to find it, I need to show her, let her know where the house is, so if it's something she's interested in, but I think at this point, she really doesn't have much choice. And she was given notice that where she's living now, she has 30 days to move out. She lives in a mobile home park down in Redmine and they're actually she currently rents the mobile home and they're actually removing all the old mobile homes and putting new ones in. So she's kind of in a situation where she's got to move. So, okay. Well, Kelsey, I'm sorry, go ahead. Not offhand right now. I was trying to get wanted to get with her and find out exactly what she's paying per month as far as, rent for the mobile home, monthly rent, things like that. So, I'm waiting to hear back from them on that. I was gonna say, is there a direct number I can call you back to? Uh, Once we get something set up? Okay, very good. Okay. Well, at least this gives me something to go by, and I think probably that might be the next step. Like I said, I'm waiting for some of her financial information right now, just to confirm everything. And then I can get back with you and see if she's really, something she wants to go forward with. But again, at this point, I think she doesn't really have a choice. She's gonna have to make a decision. But I appreciate you getting back and, giving me the information. You betcha. Good deal. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah,
It's just us.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think somebody is,
And they're listening.
or is that,
You have some note takers.
yeah. Oh, we got some people online.
Yeah,
Or
that's like some note takers. I
okay.
don't know if those are the actual people or if they're just taking notes. I'm not sure how that works.
Huh.
It might be AI. Yeah, it looks like it's AI.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just transcribing the meeting, I guess. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So,
That's
what about a one-on-one, Bob?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Is there anything in particular that you're struggling with in your business, or where are you finding the lag?
Just getting leads.
Getting leads? Okay.
And I mean, I've been going through my database.
Yep.
And just started, making calls.
Yep.
At one point, I had 4 buyers and
Okay.
2 listings coming,
Okay. Yep.
then that was like November, December. My one buyer, I hadn't heard from for a while, found out bought a house.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I've been working with them for almost 2 years.
No way.
And they even signed contracts for 2 places and backed out
Wow.
under, it's like,
Yeah.
no, we can't, that's too much. And
Yeah,
it's like, well, wait a minute, you're pre-approved for this amount. So
Yeah.
that, this is, what don't you understand here?
yeah,
So they ended up buying a house in Maryland, right
Okay.
across from Hereford High School,
okay.
which they knew I was licensed in Maryland.
You are, I was gonna ask that too. Okay.
And I showed them some houses in Maryland. This was for sale by owner. And then
Okay.
it was listed by a realtor, then it was taken off the market, then it was listed for sale by owner. So
Yep.
they ended up buying it.
So they didn't use an agent. They didn't,
Not on that.
they just went direct.
Yeah, they just
Okay.
were directly to the,
Yep.
they talked to the agent, the old listing agent, and they said,
Okay.
well, it's listed, but it's for sale by owner now.
They bought it that
And
way.
they just bought it that way.
Okay.
Which was like, oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yep.
And I could, like 3 weeks prior to that, I was, from Gettysburg all the way over, showed 4 houses.
Wow.
Hey, yeah. So, and then
yeah.
another buyer I had, he was actually looking for, I sold him his first house like 3 years ago.
Okay.
So now he's looking to upgrade. His,
Yep.
Fiance moved in.
Okay.
So he said, okay, my business is being sold. The company he works for is being sold. One of the managers is buying it and they're moving to a larger place.
Okay.
So he said, I'm getting a promotion. 2 days before Christmas, he sent me a message. He said, hey, I just got laid off. What? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so gradually all these people started dropping out.
Yeah.
And just the 2 listings I have, there's, one lady, it's her mother's house.
Okay.
Her mother has been gone for 2 years now, and she's just having trouble going through.
The process.
So, yeah, so I gave her the name of a clean out person who actually breaks everything down. So she finally contacted her.
Okay.
And so that's coming at some point.
Yep.
And I have another one. I sold both of their houses. Or I should say, I sold her husband's house, got them a house to buy. And now it's her house that we have to sell yet.
Okay.
But
So
they're
it's a
just,
guaranteed one too, just a matter of when.
well, and then here they brought something up. They live it's near the college.
Okay.
And they brought something up about, well, maybe we might rent it now,
Mhm.
rent it out. And I was like, okay. So I said, okay, well, here's, your house is paid for. But if you go to rent it out, now you're losing that capital gains,
Yep. Yep.
so I know what you bought it for. I know what we could sell it for.
Yeah.
So, but if you start renting out, you lose all that.
Yep.
And the college has changed some of their requirements or who can live off campus now.
Okay. I
So-
didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah.
My understanding, like only seniors can live off campus.
Wow.
But one way around it is, my understanding is that any undergrads they get an address, a separate address there.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
they're considered commuters.
Yep.
So
Yep.
either mom and dad buys a house, rents it to them.
Yeah, I know that happens a lot.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or just somehow they get an address off campus.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm waiting to hear. And then she told me her husband is very slow at getting things done.
Okay.
So she's got to light a fire under it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been, going through my database, making phone calls.
Yep.
And because I've been there for a while. I was dealing just with people I pick up through a referral
Okay.
or I meet.
Yep.
Yep. In fact, I had my high school reunion. I picked somebody up from there.
No way.
I sold
Awesome.
their house and got him a house.
That's awesome.
So it's like, and his cousin is actually a realtor.
Wow.
So it's like-
And you got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but that was the only thing I've done this year. So that double settlement.
Okay. Yep.
So I've been going through and I'm going through my database. Some of them, it looks like I haven't touched for a couple of years.
Wow.
And so I get them on the phone, I call, leave a message and say, hey, and somehow I recognize the names
Yep.
and some of the notes I had in there, why I talked to But I just tell them, I'm going through my database, updating some things, at one point we had talked about some real estate.
Yep,
I'm just calling to see if you have ever acted upon anything but I'm struggling a little bit with the script,
okay, yep.
So.
Do you have a defined script for that, or?
No,
kind of off the
and
top
no,
of
and
your head?
I've kind of tried to look for some, and I haven't really been successful in that.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I just really just was, in fact, one guy, I actually started sending him some more listings. I called him and I got him through some referral somehow.
Okay,
Or
okay.
he called me but I just called him up and said, hey, Dennis, we haven't talked for a while.
Yep,
I know you were looking for something and, are you still interested? He said, yeah, but I want to change my direction now, or my location. So he told me what he wanted and where he wanted it. He wants like a half an acre to an acre plot of ground
okay,
in, Donegal School District.
okay, yep.
Well, that's
There's just nothing?
nothing there.
Yeah,
And
nothing.
what is there is like $300,000.
Wow,
So he
Wow.
just wants to build a little house to be near his kids. So
okay,
I explained it to him and said, hey, look, this is what I'm finding. I also sent him some houses,
mhm,
properties with houses
yep.
and I've expanded it around that whole area, just as
Give
an
more
idea.
options.
I mean, and he was telling me his business is somewhat, with septic tanks and drainage systems. So he has some trucks and so he wanted
Okay.
just something where he could build a garage or whatever.
Yep.
Well, there's nothing like that available.
Okay,
So I expanded it and I occasionally I'll come across the property. There's one in the Red Line and there's one up near Manchester. Say, hey Dennis, it's on this side of the river,
this works.
but this looks like this might be,
Yeah,
So I've been doing that. I did get a referral from a previous client. He has somebody that works for him
yep,
looking for something, so I've been working that, but
yep,
it just, I know all this is all gonna be like 3 or 6 months down the road.
yes, yep.
So
You need more irons in the fire.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
How many people do you have in your database? Do you know? Do you use Command?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yep.
Um, I did have it here.
And do you have them separated like sphere of influence, like the people that you know super well versus just kind of the people, so to speak?
No, I just have them in there.
Okay, yep,
And a number of them, when I left Synchron and Harley, I actually brought over my,
I was gonna ask you that, if you had the
Addresses.
opportunity to,
Yep.
yeah, yep,
and I have been doing that. Some of those, I've sorted some of those out, from here and Milwaukee. 'Cause I
Yep.
dealt with a lot of people in Milwaukee, but I've reached out to some people in Milwaukee just to say, hey, here's what I'm doing now.
yeah,
Cause I actually found somebody that I worked with in Milwaukee. His wife is now a Keller Williams agent.
perfect, okay,
So we tried to do a
Referral, yeah.
referral there. But I've been going through my database, making phone calls, leaving
Yeah.
messages.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of, I did an open house for Reed. That's the first one I did in about a year or
Okay,
two, I should say 2 years, because the clients had bought that house out from under me.
Yep.
That was the last time I did an open house. So,
Okay.
well, I need to start doing that again.
yeah, yeah.
So,
How have you found most of your business in the past? Has it been mostly open house referrals, mostly?
some open house referrals, some just talking to people.
Okay,
I just,
Yep.
I even go in to give blood for blood tests and, start talking to the lady in there and she's, well, I'm looking for, okay, here's my card, I'll give you a call,
yeah, yeah,
and I get her information but that lasted a little bit, but I never, they never took it to the next
turned
level.
over, yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts on cold calling?
Essentially, I feel like, with my database, I feel that's kind of cold
How
calling.
you're doing now? Yeah,
Because, I haven't talked to some of these people for a while.
Yeah.
And some of, like I said, I'm going through my notes and some of them I picked up through, we used to have I guess a lead system in here.
okay,
It was free and it was one of those things that you had to get on it
okay,
right away.
Yep.
And I picked a few of those up but that never panned out.
okay,
And I know some of those are from that.
Yep.
And some of them,
Are they free, like you don't have to pay for them and there's no referral fee, or you pay a referral fee when they?
you pay a referral fee
Okay.
at
Yep.
settlement, yeah.
Yep, yep,
I know some of the agents in here it worked for them.
Mhm.
But I could never get anybody,
It
even to the point, I show them one property and they'd be like, oh, okay.
just kind of flake out.
Yeah, they're just, one, I asked one guy I thought was an investor. He didn't work out. I have one couple I've been working with for 3 years. I haven't sold him anything yet.
Wow,
Now he does a lot of flips in Baltimore,
okay,
so and I don't feel like, I tried to get me interested, get me down to Baltimore to help, but I was like, no, the more I thought about that, I was like, I don't want to go down that
Yeah.
far. But
especially for maybe cheap flip properties, like, is it worth your time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's been looking for a place up, for him and his wife. They've been renting for
Okay,
2 years. I picked him up. He was Greg had the buyer for their property. Greg couldn't make it to the settlement, so he asked me to sit in.
yeah,
They were selling their house. He made a comment that the agent that they used retired, moved to Florida, so he didn't have an agent.
okay,
Oh, Derek, I can help you.
that's perfect.
So we've
Yeah.
been working. I even worked with his brother for a while, and they ended up buying something in Maryland, which I found out later his brother was a real estate agent.
Okay,
But because Maryland, you can't represent.
buyer and seller.
So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had me
That's
open the
perfect.
doors for him,
Yeah.
and then he ended up buying it on his own.
Oh, what is that?
Oh, okay, well, yeah. So I was like, I guess I could have pushed the envelope and say, hey, look, you owe me a commission.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
But I don't think the house that he bought was one that I actually showed him. I think it was a listing that I sent him, but I don't think I
Okay.
actually showed him.
but if you have signed listing paperwork, you can still hold them to
Sure,
that.
yeah.
I never have personally, I just
Yeah.
think it as stuff happens, and I've never actually like held people to that,
Yeah.
but I'm aware of people that ended up buying a house after we had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, the people that just bought the house in Maryland, I said, well, congratulations, after I hung up the phone, I said a few words, but I've actually been thinking of calling him today or here shortly and maybe even sending them a little housewarming gift, because I know they have children. They have, I think it's a daughter and her family moving back from Australia,
Wow.
going to be looking for a house.
Yep.
So that's just, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's like, well, you don't want to burn the bridges. They seem to like me, but they said it just, this came about.
Yep,
You still could have called me.
yeah.
But
Do you have a budget for leads? Like, do you have like, do you have an amount that you would say, if I could get a lot more lead flow from this, I'm comfortable with spending this kind of money or something like that? Or are you trying to do most of it just bare bones?
yeah,
Okay,
because essentially, I'm estimated that. Let's, see what I can do, bare bones right now, and then as we move on, I'm not against spending money. How you doing, sir? Good to see you again.
Is it there to start 1 o'clock?
So it did start at 1 o'clock. This is kind of a part two. Part one was kind of how to systematically make sure that you hit your goals.
Yeah.
And only Bob showed up today, so we're just doing like a little wrap.
No. I was running late, but I was like, I was hungry.
These days, we're just rapping about real estate, if that works for you guys. No way.
I'm cool with that.
Talking about, we're talking about Bob and his business and maybe some of the best ways to generate new business without spending much money.
Oh.
So I think, do you call for sale by owners at all?
I did a few times. My very first listing was a for sale by owner,
No way.
14-acre property.
Okay. My first one was a for sale by owner too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't, Katie Klink helped me with that one.
Okay.
I was inexperienced, so I looked back on it and saw some things that I should have done differently.
Yep.
But the house was, they lived in it for 40+ years and they weren't going to do anything to it.
Yep.
And it was,
It showed.
yeah.
Yeah.
We couldn't get them to lower the price, but they had this set price, which we found out they had a second mortgage on the property.
Oh, wow.
So they had to get this price.
Yep.
And they ended up selling it through a friend of theirs from church, and you know, after the listing expired, after everything expired. you know.
Then they did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One reason he wanted to sell is he was having some heart issues.
okay.
And then he got that squared away. He said, well, I'm feeling pretty good. I don't think we're gonna sell it now.
Mhm.
And he didn't want to extend it, didn't want to do it. So it was like 2 months later, he ended up selling it.
Yeah.
Somebody. And it kind of bit him in the butt. Because then they were under the impression they could live there until the people were ready to move in. Well, then the people who bought it said, well, this is how much rent we're gonna charge
They
you.
pushed them out.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
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 But it was a learning experience, you know.
I think forced sale by owners are a great way to not spend much money. You spend time. You
Yeah.
don't spend a lot of
Yeah.
time because they're a nurture play. It takes some time of staying in contact, adding value, being consistent with them, like we talked about from yesterday, basically. So I think they're good for that. Expires, you ever call expires?
No, I never,
Okay.
and I picked up on that from Nate yesterday.
That's a great one.
Yeah, yeah.
Expires, and like Nate said, like even expires from 2, 3, 4 years ago,
Mhm.
especially even from a year ago, because it's actually more affordable to buy a house right now than it was 12 months ago. And that's first time in like 3 or 4 years that we could say that, because it just kept getting less and less affordable every year. So I think that's a nice little sweet spot, like 12 or so months ago,
Yeah.
where they might actually be able to get the price that they were hoping for previously.
We're in the process of moving.
Yeah,
So what I'm planning on doing, and I was talking to Belinda about this, I was gonna send a postcard out to my current neighborhood.
yes,
You know, hey,
Nice.
you know, we've been here 15 years. It's been a great neighbor. But you know, it's time to move on, something to that effect.
yep,
Who would you like for your neighbor?
exactly.
You know, we're
Yep.
putting the house up for sale. We gotta do some things to it, but who would you know, do that to my neighborhood? Then the new neighbor,
Your catchphrase should be, who said you can't choose your neighbor?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, okay.
get these custom cards. What's up?
And for expireds, Bob, you can,
Yeah.
you can search them on forewarn.
Yeah,
Search, yeah, so you can, it doesn't cost anything to just get their numbers, stuff like that, too, just searching through
Yeah.
forewarn. Yep, yep,
I use sometimes for free, another free website is fastpeoplesearch.com.
okay,
Yeah,
fast people.
fastpeoplesearch.com. Another free website.
and Bob, I'd sign up for as many like referral-based lead sources as you can. Agent Pronto is one of them. Where there's no cost up front. It's just like you pay a referral fee. Redfin, there's like is it Home Light or something?
Home Light.
Home Light is one.
I used to have a paper, we got it from our Tom Ferry ecosystem. There's like a whole sheet of free, ever did a couple of them.
Yep,
Because like even sold.com, I don't know if anybody ever closed on a sold.com.
no,
I never closed on one. I went on an appointment,
yep,
but I never closed the appointment. So,
okay,
but
yep,
they were like hit or miss.
yeah,
But yeah, I think Redfin was probably one that was decent. You gotta update your stuff. A lot of those,
I've heard Redfin is decent. Yeah, you do have to update.
you gotta
yeah.
update everything.
Set a reminder, and they have like their own little internal CRM that they'll want you to update every week to show that you're actually reaching out to those leads.
Okay.
Capacity,
Okay.
so a little bit more groundwork, but you don't have to pay anything upfront, which is nice.
When I was with Reed, I tried to talk him into, we were like, what do we wanna, you know, what lead source? He kept throwing things around. I kept mentioning market leader. But it's like $100 some a month, I think.
I've seen people do
I've
it.
never used it personally.
I know
Yeah.
Greg does.
Good
I
to say,
think,
man.
No.
Okay.
Have you tried it?
I think Adam Flinchball uses Market Leader.
Okay,
I think he uses Market Leader. I look at his branding and stuff.
yeah,
I've seen like Market Leader stuff on there. Like I can't say nothing bad about.
I mean, Market Leader has a hub. It used to be partnered with Market Leader here.
Oh yeah.
And they have like a huge marketing hub to use. So Adam may be using that. If he is using the leads, good for him. I hated it. It only gives you a name and an email. You didn't even get a phone number.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't even get a phone number.
yeah,
Now, this was, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It changed since then.
might be better, yeah.
Yeah.
Ideal Agent is another one that's referral.
I've heard of it,
based.
yeah.
Yep, they're referral based. And I know there's more.
There's like a Ogvo. I forgot well, it's Ojo.
Ojo, yes, yep,
But when I was at Berkshire, they wouldn't let me do it.
no way.
Why?
Because they said with like other, they said they had other, they had another lead source and they said if you used it, it could, it could interfere with something else. So they wouldn't allow me to use it.
Okay,
That's weird.
So every brokerage is different
yep,
as far as like what they, but I remember having the app, I mean, having the contract and I'm like, here, broker got to sign this.
yep,
And like, after they read through it, it's basically saying, I think it was some verb, is the verbiage, but they have their attorneys review everything.
yep,
It was like basically, like, you know how some of these leads click on multiple sites.
yep,
They're like, you're saying if it comes in,
in a different site.
even a different site, they still want their cut or something like that, they're like, we can't sign it.
Yep.
Because if it comes in through our other portal, which in was Op City,
Yes.
like,
Opposite.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the one we used to use here.
Yep.
yep,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, they have, Berkshire got Op City, but like, and those are hit or miss too. Let's talk about anything. Everything's hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's all about your follow-up.
It
It's
is.
like, or is your CR, are you working your CRM?
A lead is a lead.
A lead's a lead.
Basically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Op City was, you know, you had to,
You
Yeah,
know,
we would.
and I could never get it to pan out.
Right.
I, you know, I
And
get on.
I did close some Op City,
Me too.
before, but like you need, like, this with anything, it's a numbers game.
yeah. And Op City makes you sell, I think it's 6, they used to make you sell 6, and you were like capped with your price range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tier, you gotta go to another tier.
Exactly, yep, then it
Yeah.
bumped you up after that. That was frustrating too. We're taking a $6,000 mobile with Op City just to get those
Mhm.
sides of it, so I could hit the number. at Berkshire.
They were crappy, man, they were
Yeah.
crappy.
It
I'm
was
like,
rough.
man, keep sending me these $60,000 properties, man. I'm like
Yeah.
working with investors now, like, but they don't even have money.
Yeah, it's something that clicks with an ad that's $500 a month or something like that. Yeah. What lead sources do you guys have that are really working right now? We do a lot of Google pay-per-click, but it's been kind of, especially CRMs, and that's been kind of finicky. It hasn't been as strong. as-
Well, I use Google pay-per-click too. It's good. Well, we use Ylopo.
Why Lopo? Okay.
Yeah, we use
Yep.
Ylopo, but we, go with Zillow too.
Yep.
We think
Love
Zillow's probably still the most solid,
Yep,
it's the bottom of the funnel type stuff.
yep,
I think everything else is sort of watered down where you gotta cipher through it,
I think so too.
Well,
but
that's the difference.
yes, lead calls.
You're paying.
Lead calls.
What you're actually paying for is the nurturing, right? Because what's
Yes.
the difference between a Zillow lead and a pay-per-click?
Nothing.
Nothing. The only difference is Zillow warms them up for you before they get to you.
Time frame.
So all you're
Yeah.
paying for, you're paying for the call center.
Exactly,
That's it.
exactly.
You can generate leads I mean, I've been doing pay-per-click since I got into real estate, 7 years or so. And it varies, like the conversion rate has gone down drastically, like they used to be 6% conversion rate, now it's between a 1% and 2% conversion rate, like it's insane. But
Yeah.
if you're not afraid to get on the phone and have those conversations, then it's a great substitute for something like Zillow, because you're paying 150, 200, sometimes up to $500 per lead.
Instead of $1.70, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So what, you know, and as a team leader, rainmakers, there's all of us, us guys as team leaders, and we're trying to get the most leads for our team.
Yep,
But then again, what I've noticed is no matter what lead source you get, whether it's $1.70 or $500 lead, if they ain't calling them,
doesn't
you
matter.
fucking lost the money anyway.
Yep,
And they don't understand. It goes back to what you were saying yesterday at the investor meetup. We spend so much freaking money. And some teammates don't know what numbers we spend a month.
yep,
And they be like, this guy's spending buku money. And I'm like, hey, if you ain't gonna call leads, we're on production. I'll call them myself.
Yep, yep.
You're not gonna call them and I think I'm gonna create a policy though. If I see a lead uncontacted for a certain amount of hours or hour,
yep,
it's free game. Whoever can call it then.
exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I teach speed to lead.
Yep,
So we did something similar. I don't know, what CRM do you use?
Follow
Follow up? You guys have a lead pool and follow
up.
up?
I'll make a pond.
Yeah, so use a pond instead of lead assignment. That way, anytime a lead comes in, it goes to the pond and
Right.
anybody that claims that lead first gets it.
Yep,
Yeah, well, when I was, like, and I started on the team, I was with Josh Jackson's team,
okay. Yep.
first. And I would say, so like, even when I was on his team, we used to do, it was like round robin, but it's like all of our phones, even with Zillow, run at the same time.
Yeah,
That's
So-
what we have with Bull Trail. Yep.
Okay, Bull Trail.
Yep.
So like, it's a name for it. I just can't think of the name. But,
We call it the Shark Tank.
Shark Tank.
Yeah.
No, but I like that approach because, and they used to get mad at me because my phone used to be in my hand.
Yep.
And I had a special ringtone for that shit.
Special
So
ringtone.
special ringtone, because if you're in the shower, you need to know, fuck it, get out. Hey, that's the money ring. Yeah, what's it called, the money ring? The money ring, special, boom, I go jump, grab the phone. Yes, I'm gonna help you,
Yeah.
because, and then like, you know, like, I think that creates competition.
Yep.
Friendly competition, and I'm a very competitive person. That's natural, it's because it can motivate you. I use competition as motivation.
Yep,
But like, I think for being a teammate, I think they need to have that friendly competition amongst themselves.
yep,
Who's gonna answer his phone?
yep,
Who's gonna make the phone call? Because if you think that you're the only one with it, are you really gonna call them? Are you gonna put notes in the CRM? Are you gonna put them on a drip campaign? Are you gonna put them in Bright and put them on another search?
yep.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Dave Hook says you have to inspect what you expect.
yeah,
So if you expect them to do it, you have to be inspecting it, otherwise it's gonna go to shit real
it
quick.
goes shit.
Yep,
Yep,
yep.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually have a lead phone that rotates, so it's like, our sign calls, you know, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a number, and then it rotates between agents throughout the days, and then if it's their day, their job is they have to hit the lead phone, you know, they have to be present and ready to take the lead.
And that's all through Bow Trail?
Well, that through we just had a separate phone line through AT&T basically.
Okay, that's cool.
That through, yeah,
I was looking into Ring Central.
yeah, yeah.
See, I know they had something similar.
Sweet, like,
Yeah.
we need to get it for one of our virtual assistants, then, man, that's the future of real estate, because if you can get all of your people in a Ring Central number, it transcribes the cliff notes at the end.
Right.
You take that, put it right into the CRM with Zapier, probably just
Yep.
link right to it, I mean, that's the
Integrate.
way,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it now. We're not there yet, but that's the way to do it.
So like, yeah, there's a lot of this stuff, I think, yeah, like, this is, technology's always evolving.
Yep,
And whenever you get to something, they come out with something even better.
that's right.
And you're like, shit, another freaking product
Yep.
that Tom Ferry's endorsed. I'm like, he gets cut off everything. Fuck it. No, I can't keep, I stop. I don't want to keep up. But like now, of course, like, because like, I just learned to take things for what they are and be like, okay, I can get knowledge from this, but I don't need to sign up for their service.
Yep.
Because all the services are, majority, some of them are the same. But you be like, if it can help me be more productive and do
Yep.
work more efficient, I'm cool with it. Like Zapier, I was trying to make a Zap, it was giving me a problem. So, and I don't know if you guys ever did a listing and launched it through Ad Builder,
No,
through Bright.
no,
I did one through Bright, paid like $500 to launch a listing. And it gets you some leads from there. But
okay,
like I was trying to create the Zap from my Google, from my Gmail, just like all my other leads come in, but it was giving me a problem with the process. So I'll just pay somebody from Fiverr to go in and create the
Take care of
Zap
it.
for me.
yep,
Yeah, but if it's mind boggling and I'm spending too much time on it, Fiverr
yep.
or Upwork or something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
like somebody do it for me because this is killing my brain cells.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've used Fiverr a little bit in the past, we used Upwork for the first time this year. I mean, they're great, you know, you
Yeah.
can outsource almost anything, and then it goes to third world countries where they do it for so cheap that you
Right.
can't even do it yourself for the amount they do.
Like it makes sense.
Yep,
Because you know, a person that's still in production, you make money talking to people.
Yep.
If you're fucking at your desk doing paperwork or doing something other than talking to people, your price per hour just went down.
yep,
And now we're working for McDonald's money.
yep,
So that's where I find myself, like even my guys, I'll be like, hey, listen, I don't really want you on the office that much, unless you're on the phone. You're on the phone, I'm putting in the deal.
Yeah.
Everything, other than that, the office can be a dead spot for you to hide. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
I've been there. So like, because we go through call reluctance, or you go through resistance, and you be like, what are you doing? Death scrolling? You know what I'm saying? Like like sometimes you gotta,
you can
Like, put-
chat it up, you know, you're friends with some of the people that you're on the team with, so you
Yeah.
chat it up and stuff too, it's.
yeah, sometimes you chat up and then it turns into fluff, and that one fluff could turn into an hour.
Yeah.
And you like, you guys didn't make a call in an hour?
Yep.
And it's during crunch time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the market is way different than what it used to be. Especially when when interest rates were lower. So now you gotta work a little harder, and it seemed like
You do,
every, like the agent count, you got agents going out, but you got a lot of agents coming in.
Yep.
So, and I come from, like, like, I think I'm a very positive person, so I think about like, there's plenty enough work for everybody out
I
there.
agree, yeah,
More than what I could ever handle and more my team could handle.
Yeah.
So, but it's about putting yourself in front of the people and having a conversation.
Yeah.
You know,
it's number of contacts, the name of the game.
contacts.
And in a market like this, you gotta do more of them to get the
You
same
gotta
result.
double,
You-
whatever your result was, whatever your goal was last year, double it.
Yep,
So because now you be like, okay, I wanted to do 100 deals, 200 deals, whatever. You like, oh yeah, that was 20 contacts, now I gotta make 40
yep.
a day.
I
And you-
was just talking about that too.
And you need to do it by 12 o'clock.
Yep.
Because if you win the morning, win the day. Because like I had a problem talking to Bob, because Bob's the agent, but like, see, like even with me, when I struggled to do things, I think majority of it was, I was pushing stuff off to later in the day, and now I feel like I'm panicking to do the work, because now I feel rushed. And it's a mechanism, and I think it was like it's like a fear, like I went through the fears of doing something, or the fear of rejection. You go through sometimes the fear of rejection when you talk to somebody when they're not ready, and I got really, really good on the phone. I'm decent because I practice, you know what I'm saying? And if you practice on the phone, guess what else you're good at? Door knocking, because you learn how to think of the objection handler before they even ask you.
Yep.
So like, I would say another lead source, just souls. Just souls. And if
Around
you're
the
not,
neighborhood?
yep, around neighborhood,
Yep,
just so, especially for newer agents, if they don't got traction.
yep,
And I learned you can piggyback, whether you're on a team,
yep.
piggyback off Broc's listings, piggyback off the broker's listing.
Andy Keller Williams, yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
The hell with it. Piggyback off any broker's.
Really? Yeah.
Because they're not doing it. So like, especially when you want to get, like, I grew up in the city, so I sell a lot of houses in the city. So, and then I was like, I want to get out of the city. I need a bigger price, so I want to get my GCI up without having to, because I used to always aim for, I need to do 100 transactions, I need to do 100 transactions. I'm like, man, fuck that, that's burning me out. I need to do 50 at a different price range.
Higher price range.
Yes, so then I can reach a certain GCI that I want.
Yeah.
Or goal, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not about, I started to think, work harder, that was my mindset, but then I was like, when I got burnt out, like every year I kept crashing. And I'm like, let's work smarter, not harder this year. So
Yeah.
my goal is like work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
So I need to either farm in a different area where price ranges are 500,000 and up. And my average listing price went up or can go up. And last year I did 50% of my business came from listings. So that allowed me to relax a little bit and not feel so burnt out by running, showing a multitude of houses all damn day long.
Was that your personal production or your team's
That was
production?
my
That was your
personal,
personal
for
production.
listings.
Yep,
Yes.
yep, yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like I think last year I did like on the books, it's like 53 sides.
Yep,
And then with the team included, we did total of 82.
yep,
So, but like, and like, my team now, like, it's a totally different team. I got, my team changed over. So I don't really have anybody that was really on my team then,
okay.
except for Dustin, but he's a newer agent.
Is that because of switching brokerages or?
No, even before, I got rid of some people.
Yeah.
Because they either A, got a job or it wasn't showing up.
Yep,
Or meet my standard.
yep,
And like that goes with like, even right now, I'm not recruiting right now because I just got here and I'm trying to clean up.
get
And
organized.
I'm trying to get a little like toned in,
Yep,
to like create the agent avatar that I'm looking for.
yep,
Like I got two new agents, Herman's one of them and then Nayeli, the other newer agent. But
just with her.
Yep. And it's about like now, I'm trying to like focus on training, getting them up to speed, letting them learn, giving them actionable steps to take daily. So they prospect every morning. They go door knocking. So, and they role play. And then he goes to meetups, you go to investor meetups and booking, like his goal is to book appointments.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying? Book appointments because but you gotta have the conversation to book the appointment. So, but,
we
He's
call
doing
it
good.
Arby's, we got the meats.
oh yeah,
We're always
yeah,
pushing for the meats.
yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
as many meats as we can get. What do you guys think about the current market? What do you think we're gonna see over the next year? You don't normally see 3 down years of real estate in a row, and we basically had last year for sure. This year is looking like it's similar to last year. Like you'd think we're gonna start turning the corner and coming out of things a little bit more.
I see, like me with, like, there's so much pent up, like, it's like, and we noticed it, like, even when the interest rates dropped, how dramatic it got for that
Immediate.
little.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
there's so much, and like, and I learned from listening to other like gurus and
Yep.
economists, but like, there's so much pent up demand.
There is.
There's a lot of people that want to sell their house.
Yep.
But where are they going to?
Yep.
It's either A, where they going to, or can we afford it?
Right.
Because why would you get rid of our house to buy a house that's smaller with a higher price?
Yep.
It don't make sense.
Yep.
So once the interest rates, like, and that's why they said, like, so I started dialing back in 2020 during COVID. Listen to Ricky Carruth, free as hell. So it was perfect. And that was before I got into training and stuff, but Ricky Carruth got me on the phone. Hey, so how can I help you today? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But like, and I watched all the podcasts on it, but like, somebody like that, he was like, this session right here is a gold mine. If you can if you can contact the seller leads right now,
Yeah.
contact the sellers, get on the phone and basically build a rapport and brand to them.
Stock your pond.
Stock your pond.
Yep.
So like that's what he's like, this markets like this makes the all the millionaires when they do the work.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
now you got all these listing clients or potential clients in your database. They're getting your email marketing. You know how they used to do the email marketing, what was it, once a month? Now it's like, you gotta hit them like once a week, or like now it's like,
Just to stay
or
fresh.
twice a week.
Yep.
Like, because you almost gotta, it's so much traffic out there.
And the challenge is items of value every time, because you don't want to just be, oh, just checking in, it's like
It needs to be value.
Yeah.
That's the thing,
Value.
value
Yep.
proposition, your value proposition.
Yep.
And, or even, like, now it's like, you do emails, but are like, for listings, do you also send them postcards? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or
Yep.
stuff like that. So it's like branding and marketing on steroids.
I think that you moved to Keller at the perfect time, but myself too, our team too. I think that, well, an old real estate coach said, you use the analogy of a NASCAR race, and during the straightaways, there's basically no passes that happen, because both are wide open. You can only go as fast as the car can go.
Right.
Where your time is made up in the corners and the turns,
Right.
basically, and we're in a market turn right now. And I think it's the opportunity to adapt our systems, make our strategies better, make our marketing better, because when we get on the gas again, if we handle the turn correctly, we can make a lot of, we're never passing Liz Hamburger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If the
Right.
market just stays wide open all the time, we're never passing Liz, but moments like this is the opportunity to gain some of that market
Momentum,
share. So
yeah.
when you get out the other side, you can start to make passes, basically.
Right. And there's a lot of agents, I think, that stop working
Yep,
when the market gets like this.
because it's hard.
It is hard.
It's not as easy.
Yeah, like like back then, your phone would just ring, like, you got a good reputation out in Hanover, like, and that's like your main market, like,
Yep.
what is it, Hanover,
Yep,
Adams County a little bit?
yep,
Yeah, so like, and like even Jeremy, like, we have built reputations where people just call us sometimes.
yep,
And you be like, and that was from the work that you put in years ago.
yep.
That's the brand that you built up years ago. And I think like when you actually build a brand up like that, and you be like, all right, I need to do what I did then, but I need to do it times 3. Because I need 3 more times the phone calls.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or I need to pump a little bit more money into this, because we all, as a team leaders, we spent money in places where we know, like, we look back, we're like, shit, waste of money. Should never. But it's a learning curve.
It is.
We learn
Yep.
from dumping unnecessary money and unnecessary lead sources or unnecessary marketing.
Yep.
And
Unnecessary people.
Unnecessary people.
All kinds of, there's just money spent all over.
yeah, yep. So, but it's like almost like education you bought,
Yeah.
like going to college.
Yeah.
You be like, I learned so much.
It's disgusting when I look at my gross revenue for the year
Mhm.
and what I'm left with at the end of the year.
Yeah,
Like, it is disgusting. Like,
You know what sucks worse? As you add agents, that goes down to 0, basically.
Yeah.
Like the more agents that you have, unless you're leveraging it with ancillary services
Yeah.
or outside sponsorships, whatever it is, using them as like to go get investment leads so that you, if you're not leveraging that team in some way, your profit scales to zero over
Right.
time. You've got to leverage it somehow.
It does, and like you guys know, like firsthand, like being like leaders, that's in production, you be like, I'm carrying them with my team on my
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Because I had to do 50, 60, 100 deals myself to carry this shit.
Yep,
Else, because if I wasn't in production, you'd be like, with this, I would quit.
yep,
Or you'd have been
That's
like, I went solo with 2 VAs
yep.
and a buyer's agent.
And
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
that's the most profitable way
It
to do
is.
it, really. Yep.
It is.
Matson is a great example
Oh,
of that.
Great
Just crushing
example of it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep, yep.
Yeah,
It's a very profitable way to run a business with a lot less stress.
it is.
Yep,
It is, because like, like, I don't think, most people understand, when you get into real estate, they don't teach you nothing about the finance part of it. They don't.
yep,
They was like, no, just go out there and sell houses and pay your ad dues, your fees. But they were like, shit, like when you start really trying to run a business, but we were in, be like, I don't know if whoever went to college or anything else, but you'd be like, I didn't go for finance or I didn't go for accounting. So you're like, I'm just learning as we go.
yep,
So then we do end up investing in a coach, or we do invest in to a service or something that we can learn.
bookkeeper.
A bookkeeper.
Yep,
I just got my first bookkeeper last year.
I
First
just did my
one.
first one this year.
And and I'm going through, I'm doing back bookkeeping right now, so I'm cleaning up some shit.
Yeah,
But, I went to Eisenhower, the CPA.
okay. Yeah.
And he was like, hey, Rondell, I tried the 1-800 accountings. Fucking suck. Yeah, a ton of money on them too, thousands of dollars. So, and he was like, they didn't do it right. He said, go to JPS Solutions or whatever, go to this company, go whatever. But then again, I used to pick the brains of, and this is the benefit of being at different brokers. I talked to like Rick Smith or the guys like that. He's like, Rhonda, I got an accountant, very expensive, but then again, everything's expensive. But their definition of expensive being older is different from our definition of expensive. I'm like, shit, what's $1,000, that ain't that much. You still got your car. You know what I'm saying? But like, you be like, but they are pricier, but like you pay for quality.
Yeah,
You pay for what you get. So I'm like, I paid for somebody and they're gonna clean up my books. They're cleaning up this. I want profit and loss. I want to start paying my taxes. I want to be, so like 2026, I want to be on time with everything.
yep,
I want to file my taxes quarterly.
yep,
I don't want to wait for the end of the year.
Yep.
And now, and I used to be the guy where I wasn't taught, well, I was taught, but then I learned late. Hey, put 30% of your money away for taxes, but I'm an investor. I'm like, I'm gonna go buy a house, flip it,
yep,
put that money back. You know what I'm saying? Like, like take out deductions and learn how to go buy a 4 unit, write the
Yep.
whole thing off.
Yep.
And cost segregation, and you learn about the investor side.
Yep.
And I think that's, be like, wasn't the guy just out there blowing money. I don't spend money. I really don't. I got the same car when I was on Josh Jackson's team. So, but like, I'm a frugal person,
Yeah.
but I like nice stuff. But at the end of the day, I think I started flipping houses just to pay taxes.
Yeah.
I'm like, but now I'm learning about like different techniques. The people that got a lot of money, they don't even fucking pay taxes.
Yep.
If you do it right.
correct.
So I did incorporate myself.
Okay.
So I did do certain things, a C corp or whatever.
S corp,
Yeah, well, I got, I made an S corp or C corp. I had somebody I had my attorney set it up for me. I think, because you can get taxed instead of paying the state. Well, they said, listen, it's a gift and a curse, because if you don't pay the state, then you don't have your retirement stuff coming in later, depending on how you set yourself up.
okay,
Or you pay yourself a salary.
that's what I do.
Yeah,
And
pay yourself a salary
Yeah.
instead of the money that you're getting from the Broc team.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but they don't teach that stuff.
they don't.
You have to learn it and pay for that stuff.
And my goal is, I'm paying a bookkeeper for this year, but I wanna learn what they're doing, and then I wanna teach it to a VA. And I'm gonna do it for a
Absolutely.
fraction of the cost, basically, so just keep putting tools in the toolkit, basically.
Brilliant idea.
Yep,
Because you were like, hey, I want somebody to learn QuickBooks.
yep,
Or I want somebody that got all specialties in QuickBooks. If you can decipher my stuff, I can give my stuff to my accountant like that.
correct, yeah,
So my credit cards, everything linked, but now, instead of getting a regular VA, I would suggest getting my Outdesk or somebody like that to source the VA because they do their FBI clearances, they
Yep.
do their stuff
Yep.
like that, where they have them on Time Doctor or one of these websites.
Correct.
Where they know that they're not hiring any old body to do the bookkeeping.
Yep.
Or you can do it yourself, but I like for $9 instead of $6, because this person's dealing with my finance.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now you
100%.
put a layer of protection in there too.
Yep. I think in a lot of cases, those companies will train them and everything too, so you
I
have,
think so, I
you
think
give
so.
them like a standard operating procedure, they train them on it, and then it's just like clockwork. So, yeah,
Yep.
works out super well.
And I'm starting to get there too. I'm learning about, like the quality of the VAs.
Yep.
Because we still like have, I just started implementing, like I said, Time Doctor.
Yep.
But like, I'm still trying to fine tune it,
Yeah. Yep.
But like, am I taking pictures too much? Every 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like, where were you at? Like, but I don't, you sort of have to do that because they're smart.
Yeah.
They're not dumb.
Yeah.
They have 4 jobs paying them $6 and now they're getting paid $40, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's what they tried before. And when you find a VA and you're like, I'm really good, I can do this, the one who's got a job.
Yep. Yep.
You slacked off
Something.
somewhere. Yeah, so you slacked off somewhere, you couldn't make it work.
Yep.
And a lot of times, some of these ladies got babies and stuff and they're trying to parent and now they're trying to run 3 businesses, working for 3 different wholesalers and 1 real estate agent at the same time.
Yep.
You know?
Clocking time for all of them.
They
Yeah.
are. Yep.
Do you use any VAs, virtual assistants? No. Do you have any assistants or anything like that, or? like
No, I
personnel?
did. I had to let her go. Now I just Megan.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because I dialed. I actually tried to get several times. The guys that are with me, they want me to get rid of them. And what's interesting is everybody that I recruited to the team is no longer on the team. Everybody who's still on my team are people who sought me out. Like I didn't try to
I like
grow the
that.
team or
Yeah,
anything.
I
You know
like
what I mean?
that, yeah.
So I've got 3 guys on my team right now. They came to me wanting to be on the team. Matt's been with me. Shit, Matt started out as my driver when I didn't have a driver's license.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then turned into a buyer's agent.
And all your guys are good, man.
Yeah,
You got a
so,
good
like,
crew.
They're, like I've tried to get rid of it. Cause it's like you said, man, everything's on my back,
Yeah.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly believe if I was a solo agent for me.
Yep.
I could literally just turn everything off.
Yep.
Like I don't need leads, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, so when I decided I was gonna dial back, I got rid of 3 agents and my assistant.
Okay.
And now it's just me. Megan does all of our TC stuff, all the listing write-ups, clear to close, everything.
That's cool.
And then I just do my thing and they do their thing. And as long as they hit their numbers and do the SOPs, they don't hear from me.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
I talk to them maybe once a week, unless there's something else I need
That's
to
the
talk
problem.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you like Megan?
She's awesome.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, so like, here's the thing, and my guys don't understand this because they complain to me about her all the
Yeah,
time.
my
But what
guys
they don't
do.
understand is she's managing 2, 3, 4, 5 VAs. And
Right.
sometimes when one of those VAs gets swapped out with another VA, they're not 100% trained up like
They're
the
not
other ones.
dialed in.
Like mistakes get made.
And I used Megan before.
Everybody's human. We all make mistakes, but
Yeah.
it's the end of the world when Megan makes a mistake
Yeah.
because she's been doing it for so long and she should know what she's doing. Well, she does. It's her VAs that are making
Right.
a mistake. So, it's not perfect. Like no system's ever going to be perfect.
Right.
But I like Megan because if I'm not making money, she's not getting paid.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that approach.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like there's no way to lose.
So a closed deal, so it's just a cost per sale. Yeah.
And I build that in.
yeah.
I charge a $9.95 broker.
Yep. Yep.
Couple
I'm coming to your
photos.
next listing
With
thing.
that.
I've heard a lot about how you pitch that. I'm coming to your next listing
Yeah.
thing. That sounds
Oh,
like.
yeah. I think.
We were at 395 until this year and.
But he told me though, so I didn't mean to cut you off.
Good.
He told me he wanted me to go over like the tiered commission structure. He didn't say he wanted me to do an actual listing presentation.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, dude, I've never had anybody balk at that broker.
Yep.
Ever. Because here's the thing. I'm a nerd when it comes to the words we use and the psychology behind the words that we use because of Phil Jones, right?
Right.
You know Phil Jones?
No.
No? Look him up. I fall in love with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll fall in love with him. He's
Exactly
like-
what to say. I just got role play cards.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm like super nerdy when it comes into like, the word that we use and how we present something, right? And you gotta think, the people that we talk to are so used to hearing numbers in the thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. When they hear anything in the hundreds, they're like, psh, whatever, right? I've had a $7.95 broker fee for the last 5 years, and I just raised it to $9.95 this year, and I have only ever in my entire career had 2 people complain about it. And they were investors. Eric Brewer was one of them. So like
Yeah.
that, I mean, it just goes to show you, it's not, we get in our own way more than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, because we think that, oh, well, we shouldn't charge that because ours is only $2.95. Whoa.
I think there's somebody else. I think there's somebody else with a high, like I'm at $6.95 now. When I started, I was at $3.95.
That's what we've been at.
No, I was at $2.95. No, through the years, I'm adding more costs, so I have to adjust it.
The MLS write-up, I pay $100 for that.
Yeah.
Photos, 150 to 200.
Yeah,
give or
you
take,
take the money
right?
back.
Then my TC is $3.95.
Yeah.
So you calculate photos, you calculate broker fee, you calculate TC work,
Yeah,
all that shit. I mean, I don't make any money off it.
Yeah.
Just covering my upfront expenses.
no, I actually like that, but you build that into your value proposition.
Yeah.
You know, so like when people wanna know to what this go to, you already got it dialed in. This is where it goes to.
Yeah.
So like when, even like every year, I've almost raised mine, almost every year. So, but, I went to $6.95, 2025, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm like, there's even like agents on a team, hey, so what are we paying for this? I said, everything that you don't pay for. So, because they're like, they wouldn't even imagine, agents never know the team leader's actual costs.
Yeah.
Per league.
Yeah.
Or what else you're paying for.
Yeah.
Even some of these offices charge rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you got a building that you be like, pay mortgage for you, my team to be here.
Yep.
I might have apartments upstairs, but that's not your money, that's my money.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yeah.
part of the team. So even like I started buying, here, Berkshire Hathaway, one thing, they do pay for fucking everything.
They do.
But they take more money.
Yeah.
But like the paper, the marketing stuff, like I bought paper for my office. Now I bought the good paper, not the cheap paper. So if we doing marketing stuff, I'm like, he had printed some papers out. I'm like, man, get rid of that paper, man. I said, here, this is like 30 stock. You know what I'm saying? So, but it gets
expensive shit.
it's primo. It's premium. You can't have me going out there with that fucking paper.
Binder,
Yeah.
not like 3-ring binder, but
Yeah.
like.
Those little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not a laminating machine.
Yep.
So like my 3-tier thing,
Mm-hmm.
I laminate that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can reuse it and it's not getting fucked up. And I
Yeah.
don't give it to nobody.
Yeah.
My agents can take it, like they can take, I can give my agents one, but like as far as for customers, we don't give it to them. I need that back. I don't want them, I don't want them keeping my stuff, because for one, I don't want you, if you're not, definitely, like, you're not signing with me, then you only get the stuff that I leave you, and that's your CMA. Or like, I'll send you a copy of your stuff. Now, there's times where I've sent people that's not present, and I might send it to an email, hey, review this tier option. And 5% is not one of them. I started 6, 6.5, and 7. You know what I'm saying? Now, I just took a 5%, I'm taking a 5% listing today. It's in Harrisburg for 400 grand. And that was a wide open.
Okay.
No, Zillow. That was a Zillow lead. The funny thing is, she called me thinking I was the agent for the house that just sold. And I'm like, so I went up there right away, boom, 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 and talked to her. But yeah, it's a townhouse for 400 grand. That's probably only a couple years old.
Wow.
But yeah, like with that being said, I might email you the listing tier to see which package you want.
Yeah.
That's and I made mine, I'll show you mine too, Jeremy. I made mine. I did a bronze package, a gold package, and a platinum package. And I made it through Canva, made it nice, probably I added some Tom Ferry stuff in there. But and it's like, hey, everybody gets A, they get B, they get C, and you pick what you want. I'm like, that's what I hit them with, even on the phone, when they say, hey, so how much you charge for a commission? Great question, that's the first thing we're gonna talk to as soon as I get there.
Yeah.
But I have
That's the
options.
exact line I use. So
Yeah.
that's a great question. If it's important to you, it's important to me, and that's one of the first things we'll talk about.
That comes from role play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or it comes from like doing different things, but like you learn, like we learn and we grow, and we learn from each other. There's so many agents, even at the meeting yesterday. There's so many agents and we get business totally different. But we can all take something from each other to be
Yeah.
like, oh, damn, I like that. I like that.
Still like that mentality of like people, like they feel like they can't talk about what it is that they're doing. And it's just such a limiting mindset.
It is.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's such a limiting.
Internet mindset.
It is.
You don't,
With the internet, you just see that it's
Everything.
endless. There's a down everywhere.
Right.
Previous to that.
there's enough business out there for everybody.
Body.
You gotta be willing to go get it.
Yeah. I always, I've heard that you always saw it a lot with comedians back in the day, because all you had was the night show. You had like 2, 3 opportunities to do well, so you didn't want that guy to do well, because you needed to do well. But that's changed too. You have comedians get on each other's podcasts, trying to, you know, it's an old school mentality for some reason.
Yeah, I agree. So what other things are you doing for business right now?
Like I was saying, just going through my database,
Go through the database?
Yeah.
contacting people I haven't contacted for a while.
How many people is it in your database now?
I was like, I'm up to like 225, 250.
Okay.
And I was telling Brock, a lot of my business was just coming from people I was talking to,
Yeah.
people I pick up from open houses, and
Okay.
then one thing leads to another. You know, so a lot of those people have dropped out for one reason or another.
It
Uh,
happens, and
yeah,
it's good that they do,
yeah,
because now you can market to the people that actually want to hear from you.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
like when people opt out, I'm like, good.
Yeah, I did get some referrals,
Yeah.
and I have had some past clients send me,
Um,
call me up and say, hey, I got somebody. And it's, over in Hanover.
Yeah.
Brethren,
Okay.
so, you
Nice.
know, $400,000 listing
Yeah,
or possible purchase.
yeah,
And I'm into cars, so I go to car shows,
yeah,
so I talk to a lot of people there.
right.
And I'm, you know, hey, that's a nice car, where'd you get that painted at? Well, here's my card, so
Right.
I passed it that way.
Now, have you guys got involved in any outside organizations as far as like networking? Like any type of organization, like I don't know if you're a frat boy.
Yeah, I used to volunteer at the SPCA,
SPCA,
so
nice.
I would give my card out
It's
there,
only we're there.
so, yeah, yeah.
That's nice, I like that.
And I'm meeting somebody for coffee Thursday,
Cool.
new from up there.
Cool.
So,
Sponsorship every now and then. I sponsored a young boys basketball team. I sponsored, actually I did that twice. But that's good because then it gives you a reason to be at the event. And who's at the event?
Yeah.
All the parents,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And then have to go hand in
And
hand.
then,
Yeah.
and they're be to meet you. Well, in this instance, it was a children's basketball team. It's like inner city kids that had like less than fortunate
right,
circumstances, and maybe they didn't have money to go buy uniforms or
Right,
yeah.
shit like that, right?
Right.
So I sponsored a team that got all uniforms. They had my logo on their uniforms and
Nice.
everything. And when you go to an event like that and you're talking to the parents, and the parents know that their kid is able to play this because of
Because
your
my-
sponsorship,
oh, that's cool.
like it's like you're their best friend.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't even know them, but you're
Right.
their best friend.
Immediate trust.
Oh, yeah, trust is tough.
Yeah.
And what? And it cost me $500.
Yeah,
$500. Like,
yeah, I like that.
but like that's a branding play, not necessarily a lead generation play.
Yeah.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
so like that's a huge difference. Everyone always asks me how my billboards did. Did you get business from the billboards? Did you get business from the billboards?
But
Billboards were not to get business.
No.
That was when I launched the Move for Free program. I wanted everybody to know about the Move for Free program.
Yeah, and that was a branding.
And it was a branding.
I
play.
want you to see me.
Any kind of billboard.
Yeah.
Any kind of billboard is a branding play. No
Right.
one's gonna see your billboard and say, I'm calling that guy. You know, that just doesn't.
I went bowling this week, kids.
In fact, the only calls that I did get were for all my friends saying, hey, I just saw your
Were you buying or something? But like I saw Eric stuff in the bowling alley this weekend. By his house.
It's a perfect bowling. Yep.
Yeah, but like there's so many things, like I became Freemason.
last 2 years. 2 years of practicing. I've got leads in there already.
You have, yeah,
Yes, I've closed deals. They have New Oxford Lodge,
okay,
some guys in Hanover and stuff like that. We do, and we like work. My lodge is in York, but there's different lodges all over. So I think it's a good networking play for somebody like you, even down there. For those guys, down there, these are old guys that majority are professionals. When you put yourself and they carry the stuff, there's Wrightville, Gary Sutton, if you listen to radio. Gary Sutton's a member too. Then they got the Rotary Club.
I've heard of the Rotary Club,
Yep.
too.
A lot of those guys they donate money. They're just
Yep,
they're big into giving back.
Yep.
A lot of these organizations are all about giving
Oh, are
back.
you serious?
and a lot of them are really established, a lot, yeah.
Established. So I still
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of the name Bill Carter,
No,
Would you say
So-
when you told when you-
Abbottstown, the racetrack.
yep,
He owned that freaking,
Lincoln, or not, yeah, Lincoln
Lincoln, yep,
Speedway.
yep,
no, he didn't own the speedway, he owned the trailer park right there.
okay,
Oh,
So, and this guy was an accountant for Kinsley Construction,
okay,
you know what I'm saying? So Eric Farley, the Farley Jewelers,
Mhm.
that's where I got my wife's ring at. But
okay,
But he was like, there was a lot of old money in Hanover, man. It's a lot of old money. He said he
Yeah.
said Hanover's freaking loaded.
yep,
So like I knew one of the guys that I used to work at LA Fitness. So
okay,
I do know a lot of people from the gym. I met people from Hanover from the gym and one of my guys that went to Hanover, he's the one that referred a client of mine, referred me to Eric Farley. So that's how I got down in Hanover
Yeah.
with jewelry
yep,
and stuff like that. For those guys, it was like, yo, man, it's like I sold a couple houses in Adams County, York, a little bit. But I don't really target down there.
yep,
But like as far as Zillow, would I buy the zip? Yes, I would.
yeah.
But I think freaking who's the other Remax agent down there? What guy's name? Young guy.
Darren Dickens Sheets,
No, not Dickens.
not Darren,
There's another guy. He's cool as shit.
not Dwayne Dahl,
I think he's a team leader too.
Alright,
Kevin Clonk, Jason Forey,
Jason Ford.
okay.
Jason Ford had a lot of the zips down there at
He
one
did, he
time.
was paying a lot on Zillow.
Yeah, I would say Jason was killing it down there for a while. Like I haven't talked to him. I haven't did business with him in a while, but
He left Remax,
did he leave?
Cummings and Co.
Oh, did he? Oh, he went to Maryland, to the Maryland. Oh,
I
okay.
guess they're opening up a branch in Hanover and him and Kevin Clunk are opening it up together.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool, cool. Yep, yeah, I talked to him. Matter of fact, he was trying to get me to come to Remax back then. So he's like, Rondell, you might do good at Remax, man. But yeah, like he's a guy that I looked up to. There's a lot of guys. I look up to guys in every county,
Yep,
in every city, like agents that I'm like, man, you guys are killing it down
Yeah.
there, or whatever.
Jason,
And Broc, I've been following Broc since I did deal. I'm like, all of a sudden, this guy came out of fucking nowhere. You know, on freaking listings. I'm like, what the fuck Broc doing in the city? No, but I follow a lot of guys, man. And there's a lot of, like, especially when you got younger guys that's around your age range and then that's doing the same thing that you're doing or better, and then we can basically like admire and then you can push yourself to emulate somebody. There's nothing wrong with liking or compliment another agent. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times people feel like they can't do it. And it's weird to me.
well, yeah,
Or it's
So
still,
here's exactly what you're talking about. Me personally, like it's easy for us to envy somebody and be jealous of somebody, right? That's a character defect though.
it is.
Whenever we feel that way about somebody, we should be congratulating that person and learning something from them, right? Like, but we live in a world that's so competitive where you can be anything you want to be online, right?
Right,
And nobody really knows who you are unless you see the person on a regular basis.
right.
And you see somebody that's doing better than you and you immediately just like either completely write that person off because they're doing better than you or bash them to bring them down.
Right.
And it shouldn't be like that. Fortunately, that's the world we live in today, and it shouldn't be like that. I catch myself all the time. I'll be reading Facebook about someone that's doing something really good. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker. And then like immediately I'm like, wait, no, good for that person, like, they did a
Yeah.
good job, you know what I
Yeah,
mean,
good
like,
job.
but it's a mindset shift, it really is.
Detaching our ego from it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down
Yeah.
to. It's
Right.
like that person got there because of X, Y, Z, not just, hey, awesome, that guy got there. Who
Right.
knows what it took to get there? Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely, and like I even go as far as I had a goal and I didn't do it, so I'm first to say I didn't do it, but as far as I was trying to build agent to agent referrals.
Yeah.
So like even as far as going to Amazon to buy the inspirational cards, because all agents like inspiration.
Mhm.
So because I was trying to target Maryland, to get referrals, but I was having agents call me from Maryland, hey, Rhonda, I got a client. I'm like, I never really went in on it though,
Yeah.
to be like, hey, I can be your agent up here if you don't want to drive up to York.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, damn, but I never really capitalized on it because I find myself overwhelmed, they're too busy to do it, and I never paid somebody to actually do it,
Yeah.
to actually reach out or to attend their events, or to go to, now that I went to family reunion for the first time, I did meet people from Maryland.
Perfect.
So they
Yeah.
was like, hey, Rondell, you're invited to the next event. I want you to come, meet some people, pass out your card, this, that, and third. He said, yeah, so
Yeah.
it sort of opened the door.
Yeah.
And I got introduced to them, like, and it was crazy. Like me being like an African American, it's like there's a lot of African American business in Baltimore that even comes to York.
Mhm.
So a lot of the people that's buying some of these new construction or these $400,000 houses, or they got good jobs in Maryland.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
so I try to like even dig on like my cultural background to be like, all right, I can at least target other agents that's just like me,
Yep.
to be like, hey, I can be a referral network.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
anybody, I target anybody, but if something's working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like,
Yeah.
keep doing it. And like anybody else, even up here, or there's other agents down there or other, like I go to, there's masonry stuff down there too,
Okay.
that I don't really go to, but we can.
Yep.
So, but like, I'm like, all right, so I need to dig in on this. Because our masonry was, I think it was started in the early 1700s. It dates all the way back.
Wow.
But the owner of, like, this is when it was segregated. So our Prince Hall, ours is called Prince Hall of Free and Accepted Masons. Because of free, and it was taught by the white people that started masonry, and it was passed down to one of his slaves. And he
Wow.
taught his slave, and so they have a black section of the masonry stuff too.
Then they basically
And now-
started a chapter that just grew from
It was
there.
a chapter, but now we're in the lodge together.
Yep.
Or like we have white members, we have Spanish members, it's segregated now,
Yeah.
but that's how it came about. But it was like a story, and like our stuff there's just a lot, like stuff, you can't really learn about it until you get into it,
Yeah.
because secrets, but it's a lot of good stuff that comes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, even if you guys got a chance to look at it in Hanover or something like that, I could even plug you into somebody in Hanover, but those guys are like, super cool.
That's
A
neat.
lot of older guys to be your grandpa.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, so,
Similar to Rotary.
yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
and that goes back to Bill Carter that owns I think he had like 50 something units, of mobile homes over there. And he was the accountant for Kinsley Construction. He was like, hey, Rondell, let me give you one advice. He was 87 years old. This guy was still working and fired. He said, make money while you sleep. Invest in real estate, invest in horses. He bored horses and everything.
Okay.
So he owned 290 acres right next to Central Football Field.
Okay. Yep.
It's a big estate.
Yep.
So like I went in there, got the gate, they got a gate right next there. He was trying to fight Central Football Field. He was part of the Rotary Club too. But he was like, that farmer that had that land that the school district bought, he promised that to me when he died, Central got it. He's like, how the heck? So he was fighting him for years. But this guy had tons of money. And he shared crop soybeans and rented the land out. He was
Yep.
like, when his son's got it now, but his son was into construction. He was like, it all started with him partnering with a contractor to flip houses and stuff
Yep.
back in probably the 60s or 50s. But those guys are brainiacs. Like
always try to learn from somebody else.
100%.
The moral of the story is always learning from somebody else, even if it's a friend, a client, like I just learn to talk to people.
Conversations. Create opportunities.
Yep, yep.
Opportunities. Creates money.
Absolutely.
There's like more to that, but that's the short version.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry we didn't do anything formal, but there's not probably too many opportunities to get these two guys in a room talking about that high level business and everything else. So I think
Yeah,
it was more
I mean,
impactful than anything I could have thought today.
This was a coaching session.
For sure.
That,
Yep.
yeah, you
I'll send
know,
my bill later.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. You said, we have such untapped resources sitting in this room, but in this brokerage as a whole, and we should tap into that more. Just sitting down, rapping like this. I mean, I know it takes a little bit of time, but iron sharpens iron, and
Yeah.
that we can get around each other and kind of figure out what's working, not working. I think the three of us seem to be a pretty open book, which is what you need in conversations like that. But
Yeah.
we don't hold trade secrets.
I don't either.
Teach everything that you have. I mean, it's good people to be around.
when I started, we were still at South Queen Street.
Yeah.
The one good thing about that place is you had that open room,
Yeah.
and you know, any places, other places to go to hide, to sit. So you sat in the open room and you would have conversations like this. People
Yeah.
would come walking by and, you know, hey, what's going on? Or let me
Yeah.
ask you a question. And then next thing you know, you have 4 or 5 people sitting there talking about the same thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What's working, what's not working.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get, it's a little segregated here because of the opposites, but
Yeah.
it's still, yeah, it's
So-
it's kind of an open door. I mean,
Something totally off topic, but may benefit you guys. 2 new businesses. I'm like 80% there, getting ready to roll out. 1 credit repair. So
Okay.
any clients that need credit repair,
Yep.
Nice.
we're gonna start to offer that. It's super cheap, $100 a month. Credit monitoring's an additional 20, so 120 a month. $100 sign up fee, $50 goes to whoever refers the client.
Okay.
It's not bad.
So anybody that you guys know that need credit repair, let me know. If you want me to sign something saying I won't take your client, I'm more than happy to sign it. Because at the end of the day, I just want the recurring income.
Yep.
And then the other one, which was the reason why I decided to do credit repair, because a lot of people that want this require optimizing their credit profile, is getting business funding. You guys heard anything about that? So we can get like right up to about $250,000 without any proof of income of 0% funding.
Wow.
Yeah, it would be 0% only for the first year, but you don't provide any proof of income. I have relationships with all the banks already that offer this. They do manual underwriting for me, so your approval odds like skyrocketing. And yeah, I'm actually working on my 3rd round of funding for myself. I bought my Airbnb cabin, $370,000. I put it on a credit card.
Wow.
I've seen people do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then just refinanced or, yeah, yep.
Put it on a credit card, refinance, pay the credit card off, or we can get business lines of credit too. So like I had $150,000 worth of 0% cards. I liquidated it. Liquidating is, so there's liquidation services where you run the credit card as a purchase. They'll
Right.
charge you 6% for doing it, but then they wire the rest back to you. So I
Okay.
liquidated, I just got done doing it like 2 weeks ago. I liquidated 55,000. They wired me back 51.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
it's still 0% because it's not a cash advance. Then it looks like a purchase.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
cool.
still 0%. But yeah, I use that to buy my cabin. I use that as, I've used it for down payment to buy houses.
Right.
And then if for whatever reason, you get to the end of the year, that credit card isn't paid off and you're about to get whacked with interest, you just get more 0% credit cards with
And
a
pay that one
LLC and roll it over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you can get business lines of credit to pay the card off and then go get new cards to pay the line of credit off.
Yep.
And you just keep rolling it over.
That's cool.
So that's been something a lot of people like to use, like agents love it because it helps them test out different marketing channels
Yep.
Right.
instead of just coming out of pocket for it.
Right.
But it's important to have your personal credit in line to be able to get that, because we don't want the banks to decline you. The
Right.
beauty about business credit though is no bank sees it's different than personal credit. Like if I go apply for a card at Wells Fargo and then I go over to Chase is going to see that I just got a card at Wells Fargo.
Right.
It's not like that in business credit. You can go and get 10 credit cards in one day, business credit.
Wow.
Because all they do is they look at your personal credit to verify that you have good credit. They don't report to it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I just talked to a lady that, because I was inquiring about some of the coaching and it was really expensive, right? And they had put me in touch with a lady in Boston. She's a beast. And she was like, Fondell, I'm gonna tell you how I started. So like I put $50,000 on my credit card. She's like, I put it on my credit card and it carried me. And she like, luckily it's good coaching. She's like, it paid itself
Yeah.
back. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Nick, he's getting ready to get 200,000 right now.
Wow.
better than
Somebody
paying
flip.
a hard money lender.
Yeah. What's
Did
up?
I flip with it or something, or?
Yeah, he's got a couple flips that he's doing, so
Okay.
I just gonna use it as working capital for that.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of people just don't, like, there's so much money out there that's available, just don't know. And they're afraid to go to the bank and apply because they don't know what to apply for. They don't know what data points. I mean, we know literally down to every single question on the application, what to tell them. Like we know how to optimize your LLC. Like, by the way, guys, having an LLC in real estate is high risk. You won't get loans. You want to categorize it as something else. So we optimize the LLC, we optimize the credit profile. Once that's done, then we start with approvals.
Nice.
But like we know every data point that we need to hit, and we have direct contact information of the manual underwriters. So like no application is going to get put in that gets denied, because if we're not ready for an approval, we're not going to put the application in.
Yeah.
Right.
So we know everything ahead of time.
Yeah.
And just leverage that to grow.
Wow.
Leverage your team.
That's it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I like that.
I got Matt on my team. He needed 50,000 for something. That was easy. I got him 50,000 on one card. Kev just got 100,000. Nick's getting ready to get 200,000. So it's there. And the beauty of it is the fee to do is 10% of what you get, but you won't only pay 10% of what you get approved for. And you put that 10% on one of the cards that I get you. So you have a whole year to pay it off.
Yeah,
So you don't pay unless you get the money,
Right.
and then you put it on a card that you have a whole year to pay off.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
There's no out of pocket expense right away.
No, it's but
Not
like,
for an investor. The
like for
investor's
me,
gonna
like-
make that back.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure you pay what, $20,000 to have access to
180.
200,
Yeah,
180, yeah.
yeah.
It's not worth to
Right.
By the time you start renting it, by then refinance.
Exactly.
Set.
Exactly.
Yep, yep.
It's no different than going to a hard money lender.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
It's the same
It's gonna
thing.
be more expensive.
Yeah, because they're gonna whack you with interest only payments at 11 to 14 and charge you points up front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy last night, 12%.
12%.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Three
Points.
Yeah, 12%,
Who's
3
that?
points, Pasquale, the
Zach.
bookkeeper.
Yeah, Zach, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's expensive. I would never use it.
Well, you got Brandon Hershey this one too.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Expensive. Now Brandon's relational though. Like if you have a relationship with Brandon, like I can get Brandon to 1 point and 11, which isn't bad.
There's some people out there that are
Nick-
cheaper than that.
Nick has,
I got people in Hanover too.
Nick has a guy that's 11% with no points. Our partners on the flip right now.
I like that
So
11%. No, I like the no point.
I do too.
Yeah, like, we got upfront.
That's where they make it.
Well, I remember the first time I paid, I think they like charged me 3%. Fuck.
One of my flips, I talked to a money lender. And it just, I started running the numbers. I looked at my girlfriend and I said, we got equity in our house. We wrote checks.
Exactly.
And then
Exactly.
Once we got the property, then we refinanced it, got the money back, and we did the renovations. and
That's the
sold
way,
with it.
that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, put it out here.
You can do the same thing that Zach started doing.
Yeah.
He started with just a home equity line of credit on his house and started lending that out. Now he has other people giving him money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy seems like a brainiac. I think everything was good until he said, don't pay for coaching. I think everything was good.
I was talking about.
Like he said,
Don't pay for coaching.
he said, don't pay for anything. He said, you can do it, you can do everything yourself. That's what I interpreted.
Busting common myths. So he was like, you don't need a coach, you don't need to pay for leads, you don't need like that kind of stuff, but he like stuck on the coaching. Like he said it a couple times.
I thought he started gibbering. He started to gibber because he said he was rushing a little bit to write it. So I'm like, oh, he's gibbering up there. So that's funny, but he's cool. He's shit, evidently.
He does.
But I like Eric when he said that, I'm like, Eric's probably like, this is his last time coming up. You know they sell services.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I said Eric's probably like, that's his last time coming. He's done. But it's funny. But because he's been to a couple of them. That's not that's one thing. He would sponsor the shit for Oprah.
Business funny, because when he was looking for money, I was like, dude, I was like, he was reached out to Matt and Matt pointed him to me and I was like, he was telling me about how he's going to open an account at Chase and putting 100,000 in it so that it can sit and season so that he can get a line of credit. And I'm like, dude, you don't need to do any of that. Like, but he didn't want to pay me, so he'll figure it out. We're going to do that shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, you gotta pay to play.
Brenda? Yeah. Good deal. See you again. Fellas.
Call a friend of mine, see if. He has a, yeah, I got, his mother's gonna be moving into a facility. And he's gonna have an auctioneer come in, he said, I'm telling you, property through the house, oh boy. So I'm trying to work up. I know, he's, cause I bought 2 houses.
Yeah.
And I know it's less than what you could get for. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, that's quick and easy.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know, he wants to sell it, it's taking him prices for that, they're getting pretty good prices. Yeah, but you're going with the money on the table.
The objection for that, Bob, and I don't know what the spreads are, so to speak, but a lot of those, you have the auction come out with the whole, you know, all the
Yeah.
stuff in the property. They give you a certain percentage based on how much money you make. So with the house, that'll get everything else into a higher percentage because he sold the house for so much. Now all the little trinkets, everything that he sells, now he gets the higher commission split basically. So I don't know what the objection handle to that would be. But if he has like a car, a tractor, like other things that'll get in there,
Yeah.
having to sell the house for it, then he has to come and get, still get to that top tier, but not have to sell the house. at the
Yeah.
same time. So, yeah.
I know the auctioneer it's a good friend, they know each other very well, and I don't know whether he's a relative or, I know he's may give him a little bit of a break.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, well, you know, I can work with him, maybe. But I still, I think that the idea that he's actually gonna leave money on the table.
Yes.
And
Either way, he gets the higher tiers.
Oh, yeah,
Still gets
yeah,
money.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought about, and Greg mentioned, he said, ask him to let you list it for 30 days, something like that, and see what happens. But I gotta, it's gonna be a while for his mom moves out. Yeah, I'm gonna get to him.
Positioned correctly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get another box out of it. Okay. Changes because they're not going to have to sit the clock. There, I mean, unless you want to wait for six, because I just don't want to have to change. Except. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. And I,
Hey. Yeah. As in wait till tomorrow. As in regarding, seeing if they would take the offer, if they would sign the offer tomorrow. Is that right? So I was literally about to give you guys a call, because I did get a text message back from the guy. And he said that they would like an offer today due to having others they want to see that go active tomorrow, properties as in. So he's basically saying that to hopefully push us to make a decision, like, which I don't know, like, I personally feel that. Hey, hold on real quick, Josh. What is it, Haley?
say. Can you help me?
Yes. Yeah, percent the problem.
I'll say it. Well, obviously, the buyer's agent wants us to sign his contract. So I feel like even if they can wait till tomorrow, he's probably telling us today, he made the release set state today. So it's like this is the game, man, like unfortunately. I don't really know what the right play is 100%. It's like, it's kind of like gambling a little bit. But it's like, we could probably wait till tomorrow and give them an answer back tomorrow after the showing. And like, they probably still would probably move forward with the deal. However, yeah, if they do find a house tomorrow that they like, they could write an offer on it, and it might be accepted. I don't know. Like, right now, we have these guys in the pipeline though. And, did she tell you about the multiple contracts on that need to close? Let's say it's like a domino. Yeah, so the very first house, that has to sell, there's been no appraisal on that one yet. But then the buyer's agent says the listing agent isn't concerned with the appraisal, so I don't know. But like, of course, I mean. You gotta remember, man, like everyone's always trying to paint this stuff in a positive light. Too, because they want to get deals done. So it's like, it is a lot of trust and just like crossing your fingers and just hoping and praying with this kind of stuff, honestly. Because we have no control over any of these other deals. At all. But I mean, it would be a June 15th settlement if it all comes to fruition. I mean, the house would be off the market again, being like. But yeah, we would be basically waiting for everything to just come to fruition. Wait, what's that, man? You cut off there. Dude, I don't know what's up. You're cutting off again. You made the decision, what? Oh, okay, okay. I'm on call right now, actually, so right now. Cool. That's fine, I'll see you. But it's like, it basically like, two other houses have closed. For this, one of those. And it's like out of area. Why? I think it went well. I mean. Basically, I don't know. I don't know, split. Appraisal probably. Issue, but. I'll first. You're not weird to me. You're not weird. That's.
Yeah.
What? Really. Everyone wants these all. It's not a case, Steve. I mean, I think the only that like for yourself. Is it well, you're paying ours. That's the biggest thing. I just. Where they. It's just still. And it's just so hard to pick that. It's changes and things. I mean. Development goes to plan, yeah. You know. We're not listening to. I actually want Josh to. He told me that he's just comfortable with the deciding people. That's what he kept saying. So. I have time to think about it still. It's a great deal. So. And I just want to have a conversation with this client. I mean, I think he's gonna be just more fuzzy that. Cool.
I'm feeling for it. I mean, I think technically it's always a gamble too, so. No matter like if I wait and say no. And then. Or if I said yes, so.
Exactly. What's that?
Yeah, I can wait a couple hours.
Yeah, that
Think
one,
about it.
the first property, that's in Bucks County,
Yeah,
which like all the stuff out there is like really expensive. And I mean, the purchase price on that home is, pretty low. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel that that's like a really good, well-priced home in that market. On the first house, like two 60. It's, what's the sale price of this one? It's 265. I mean, that's like the average in York County, pretty much. So I mean, just right there, I'm like, that property is priced low for the market. I mean, there's like, Bucks County is one of the most expensive counties in the state. The other property, I have no idea where it's at. But, well, on Cape Horn Road, you mean? Yeah. Yeah, duh. I was thinking of something else.
yeah. The. That'd be great. Yeah, I'll think about it and I'll probably, cause I go to dinner around 6. So, I'll probably call her then. And talk to her.
Okay.
So, and I'll give you a little bit of time to hopefully hear back from the one.
Okay. So probably between 6 and 8, we'll probably know something, right?
Yeah.
Cool. You got it, Sarah. I'll see you.